Her name was Amira, a young woman from a small village where men were seen as strength and women were expected to stay silent. Her father had fallen ill, her mother was weak, and her two little brothers cried every night from hunger. There was no money, no food, and no one willing to help. The only work available was at the construction site outside the city, a place that never hired women. They said this is a man's job, but Amira refused to watch her family starve. So one night, she took a pair of her late father's trousers, cut her hair short, wrapped her chest in cloth, and looked at herself in the mirror. For the first time, she didn't see fear. She saw purpose. She renamed herself Amin and went to the site the next morning. The foreman looked her up and down. "You look small. You sure you can carry bricks?" She nodded silently. "Yes, sir." The work was brutal, lifting, digging, sweating under the burning sun. Her hands bled, her body ached, but she never stopped. Every evening, she took her pay, hid it in her old shoes, and walked home after dark to feed her mother and brothers. No one at the site knew the truth. Days turned into weeks. The workers mocked Amin for being quiet, for praying alone, for never drinking or joining their jokes. But she endured everything, because every bag of rice she brought home meant one more day her family survived. Then one afternoon, tragedy struck. A heavy metal beam slipped from the crane and crashed onto the ground. Amira saw it falling straight toward a group of workers, and without thinking, she ran forward, pushing one of them out of the way. The beam struck her leg, pinning her to the ground. The men rushed to help, and as they tore her shirt to stop the bleeding, silence fell. Her secret was out. The foreman stared in shock. You're a woman?" She winced in pain and whispered, "Yes. But I'm also a worker. Please, don't fire me." He knelt beside her, speechless. The man she had saved, a strong builder, twice her size, looked down, tears in his eyes. "You risked your life for me?" Nodded faintly. An ambulance came and took her away. For days the whole site buzzed with guilt and awe. The foreman couldn't sleep. He had mocked her, doubted her, called her weak, yet she had shown more courage than all of them combined. When Amira woke up in the hospital, her leg was bandaged, and her mother sat beside her weeping with pride. Outside the room, the foreman waited, stepped in holding an envelope. "This is your full salary," he said softly. "And a bonus from every worker you saved?" She blinked in disbelief. "Sir, I don't need." He shook his head. "You've earned it more than anyone. We all owe you." Word spread through the city about the woman who disguised herself as a man to save her family. Reporters came asking her why she did it. She said simply, "Because hunger doesn't care if you're a man or a woman. And courage doesn't wear one face." Months later, she opened a small training center for women, teaching them carpentry, welding, and mechanics. She named it the Amin Foundation, after the name she once wore in secret. When the mayor visited the opening, he asked, "Why that name?" Amira smiled. "Because that name reminds me that the world only changes when we dare to step beyond fear." Years later, her brothers grew up and finished school. Her mother lived to see the day the government honored Amira for her bravery. As she received her medal, Amira said quietly, "I never wanted fame. I just wanted my family to eat. But I learned something greater, that sometimes you have to become what the world refuses to see, to show them who you truly are. Because true strength is not in muscles or money. It's in the heart that keeps fighting, even when it's afraid."